Well, hello everybody. It's Angelo Caruso. I am testing a new pair of earbuds today. If you can hear me, please give me a thumbs up or a yes in the comment area. That would be great. We're going to talk a little bit today about life success and how success happens for us. I want to encourage you to thank your mentor or somebody that's got you to this station in life where you can consider yourself successful. You can do that by typing the person's name into the comment section. You can tag the person in the comment section. That would be fine too. I think everybody wants to be more successful. And what's interesting is that we are living longer. We are working longer. And those of us that are taking care of ourselves are actually enjoying life longer. So wouldn't it be great if we could be more successful for a longer period of time? And success means more. Hi, Sherry, how are you? Success means more when you are enjoying yourself, helping other people. Life means more when you are successful. And I think a lot of people, I know I did this earlier in my life, I equated success with money. And it's not always about money. In fact, I think success is almost incidental. Money is incidental when compared with the bigger arc of success. Sherry, can you hear me okay? Give me a thumbs up or something in the comment section if you can hear okay. So the important thing for us now is to realize that whether you're in your 30s or your 40s or your 50s or your 60s, and even in your 70s, you can be more successful if you care to. And success, of course, is defined by you, not by other people. Success may be enjoying the day more. Good morning, Rodney. How are you? Success may be helping others more than you are currently doing. Maybe systemizing your techniques for helping others rather than just doing it haphazardly through the year. Success, indeed, can mean making more money. Only you can decide what success means to you. And on this call, I will be Rodney's still in Stratford. A bunch of us were in Toronto this week for the Rotary International Convention. There were almost 30,000 people at the convention, and then everybody does side trips afterward. It's a great way to see the world. And one of the things we'll talk about in this call is my review of the Niagara Falls area, because we did stop on the way home and really enjoyed it. It's my second time there. I enjoyed it a lot more this time, and I'm going to tell you why. Also on this call, we will talk about my 3-4-5 formula for success. And anybody can do this. I wish I had known about it earlier in life. I actually borrowed the idea from Dr. Phil. You know Dr. Phil on TV? He's written a lot of books, and I happened to read one of his books maybe 20 or 30 years ago now. And he laid out this formula, and at the time I read it, I thought, this is not for me, you know. And then the more I thought about it, I realized it was for me. I just needed to customize it. So when I give you my 3-4-5 success formula today, I welcome you to customize it for your own needs, because again, only you can determine what success means to you. Good morning, Jennifer. Good morning, Karen. Hey, everybody. We are thanking mentors today because of the success formula I'm about to outline for you. If you'd like to thank somebody in your life that's opened a door for you or helped you along in some way, please do that in the comment section. You don't have to tag them, but you can. And just say, thank you, so-and-so. If you don't want to use the full name, that's fine too. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you, Melvin. Thank you, Karen. You know, whatever that person's name is, that would be great. Good morning, Mark. How are you, man? So before we do the Life Mastery Success Formula, I want to talk about our time in Toronto last week. We had an excellent time. Once a year, the Rotary International Group puts on an annual convention. It's annual, that's why they call it once a year. Last year, it was in Atlanta. The year before that, it was in Seoul, Korea. The year before that, it was in Sao Paulo, Brazil, I believe. So they move it all around the world. And this year it was in Toronto. We enjoyed Toronto. You know what I always say, being in Canada is like being in another country. And on the way home, Renee and I stopped at the Niagara Falls area. Hi, Mark, how are you? Oh, here they come all on the same bus. Hi, Dan, Mexico, from my old days in Trenton High School. Laura Rayfeld, welcome. Matt Duffy from Illinois. Rundy Ream, how are you? And Valentina, welcome. Glad you're on the call. So we stopped in, hi Sherry, oh sorry, Steve Green, welcome. We stopped in Toronto on the way, well, we were in Toronto for the convention, and we stopped in Niagara Falls on the way back. Now, here is the thing I want to tell you. I've been to Niagara Falls before, didn't really, I mean, it's a wonderful spot, but I didn't really understand what Niagara Falls was about the first time. And here's why. Hi, Jerome and Jim, how are you? The first time I went to Niagara Falls, we visited from the American side, which is in Buffalo, New York. And if you've ever been to the falls, you know this is a critical mistake if you're trying to really understand Niagara Falls. Yeah, I'm on summer hours, man. 9 o'clock seems to be better for everybody, including me. It's a busy holiday weekend. Weather's great. And just 9 o'clock seems like a better time for. So 9 o'clock is our summer hours, Jim, for the rest of next couple months, next couple 3 months. Hi, Kishore. How are you? Dutch Nye, welcome, man. And so we visited Niagara Falls this time from the Canadian side. And here's the key difference. I guess I never appreciated this before. When you're on the American side, you can only observe the falls from the side. It's just how the water flows and dumps, right? When you're on the Canadian side, there's two sets of falls, two main sets of falls. When you're on the Canadian side, you get a full frontal view. You get the full Monty of the Niagara Falls area when you're on the Canadian side. And the Canadian side is a small town called Niagara Falls, go figure. I think it's called Niagara Falls, Ontario. And it's a small little town. They do the tourist thing. There's casinos on both sides. You can do you can visit Niagara Falls from both sides. But I'm telling you, man, if you can get over to Canada, that's the place to see it. The American side just does not do it justice. It has nothing to do with politics or marketing or anything except geography. It's how the water flows. You get to see it's wonderful. And we posted some photos already on my Facebook page. You can scroll back and see them. I'm going to post some more this weekend now that I'm home and have some time. Hey, Sandy, how are you? Jennifer and Kendrick, I absolutely agree. The Canadian side is more beautiful. And so we had a chance to do that this time, and it was lovely, and we stayed a little while. Now, you can save some money by parking away from where most people park. It's still going to be paid parking, but take sunscreen because the walk is longer. It takes longer than you would think. It's got a little bit of, I don't know, you can't see it today maybe, but yesterday I was a little redder than I like to be. So take sunscreen and a hat, because it's going to take a little while to walk along the river there where you can actually get to the falls if you decide not to get hacked on parking. So we really enjoyed it. Now, I want to get into this thing about life mastery, about life success, and I want to tell you my formula and how I came about it. And then I'm going to give you a very serious discount on an event that Renee and I are hosting in November. It's on November 2 and 3, everybody, in Tampa, Florida. And that event has to do with success. So this kind of ties into what we're talking about today. So hang on for that discount and the registration information, should you care to attend. But like I said earlier, I went to this, I went to a seminar one time, and somebody turned me on to a book by Dr. Phil. And the book has this thing in it called the 3-4-5 formula. Now, it doesn't really matter how Dr. Phil laid it out, because I didn't really agree with his numbers, and you may not either. So I changed the numbers, right? But the premise is, and I'll use my numbers today, the premise is that in your life, you will have 3 life moments, like big life moments that change everything about what's going on for you, right? They redirect you in a positive way, sometimes a negative way, but we're talking success today. 3 key life moments, 4 critical decisions. 4 critical decisions, and 5 mentors or people that showed you the way. 5 special relationships, right? Now, you may argue, well, you know, it's only 3 special relationships in my life. Oh, I had 6 special people in my life. It doesn't matter. The thing is to identify and appreciate and keep coming back to. It's like a well that you can keep coming back to, everybody, to draw life's nectar, right? 5, in my case, 5 key people that showed me the way in my life. 4 critical decisions. Now, these are proactive, because if I make a decision to do something, this is me making it happen, right? I had to decide to do it. And that's the difference between the 4 critical decisions and the 3 life moments. Because a life moment doesn't have to be you making it happen. A car accident, I hope nothing like that ever happens to you. A car accident can be a life moment. Getting sick can be a life moment. You didn't decide for that to happen. So that's the difference between 4 critical decisions and 3 life moments, right? And I'm going to run mine down for you in a minute. Hey, Rosh, how are you? Rosh is a very talented digital marketer, everybody. He's got an amazing YouTube channel. And if you're marketing at all on social or on YouTube, you need to check out Rosh. He's a wealth of information. He's right here in town, by the way, right here in Michigan. So I'm going to run down my 3, 4, 5 success formula. And if you want, you can get started right now with yours, because you just, like take a sheet of paper, draw it in half, draw a line down the middle. And on the left side, you can quickly outline my formula. And then on the right side, you can kind of transpose and put your own formula into it, because this is a great way to think about your life, think about being more successful. I always I often observe both in writing and in public speeches that it's really easiest for us to look backward 5 years, oh yeah, I did that 5 years ago, and then this happened, and then this is called Monday morning quarterbacking, everybody. See, on Monday morning, all the weekend football games are done. It's really easy to say, oh yeah, I see how that happened on Monday. But try looking 5 years ahead, everybody. If you're 35 years old, try imagining yourself at 40 years old. If you're 40, try to imagine yourself at 45. If you're 55, try to imagine yourself at 60, or even 10 years down the road. It's extremely difficult to do because we don't know about things that are about to happen. So when you really understand the arc of your life, you start to take ownership of it, right? You're riding more in the front seat than you are in the back seat. And by the way, there's 2 seats in the front. One of them is right behind the wheel. The other is a passenger. So when you grab the wheel, the steering wheel of your own life, you can navigate to success a lot faster and a lot more efficiently. This is the idea. Good morning, Michelle. How are you? And Michelle's got a great webpage too. It's a photography forum, I think. Michelle, if you want to push in anybody wants to promote their site, you're my Facebook buddies, promote your site. Jim Gilmore has a new business. He's helping nonprofit organizations with leadership transition. A lot of times they find themselves without a CEO for some reason. Jim Gilmore is a transitional CEO. He comes in, he's a fast learner, picks up on what's happening very quickly, keeps the course on keeps you on course, right? Just long enough for you to get your next CEO into place. Brilliant niche marketing from my friend Jim Gilmore. So I want to run down my 3, 4, 5 formula, how it's worked out for me. And then we'll talk about an event that I'm hosting that may be useful to you in this way. So again, 3 life moments, right? 3 life moments, 4 proactive decisions, and 5 key people. So my 3 life moments involved, first of all, my decision to own a business. That was the number one thing for me. The number one thing, probably, it's hard to say. I feel differently on different days, but for sure, deciding to own my own business changed my trajectory. It changed how I spend 2,000 hours a week. It changed how I think about helping other people, right? When I worked for other people, I couldn't do systemized giveback because it was just too difficult. But because I work at my own company, I arranged the systemized giveback. You're going to see this in my life where a bunch of these things, like they're like a strand of DNA. You can't pull the strand apart because everything's intertwined. Also, being able to do what I wanted to do for life as a passion, very important to me. Maybe you feel it's important to you. Maybe you're in a job that doesn't deliver the kind of heart reward. You might be intellectually stimulated, but you're not getting rewarded in your heart. The best kind of job, ladies and gentlemen, rewards you in the heart, rewards you in the head, right? And so owning my own company allowed me to get on that path. So it was a very important, critical decision for me. Some of you know I came up through the music business. My brothers and I technically owned that company. And then I worked for some other people, some other organizations for about 8 or 10 years. And then it was time to do my own thing, right? And that was a key thing for me. Second key moment for me, key decision, sorry, we're in life moments. Second of 3 life moments for me was moving to Oakland County, because I was raised in Wayne County in Trenton, Michigan. And when I moved to Oakland County, my windshield opened up. Wayne County is a terrific place to raise a family, but for me, Oakland County just made my life explode. It was like going, I think this can happen for you no matter where you move, right? But for me, I can't explain it exactly, but it really opened up my windshield, right? And my third critical decision in life was to join Rotary, because when I joined Rotary, again, it allowed me to give back to my fellow human beings. It allowed me to systemize it. And now my vocation and my avocation are like this, you know, that tongue in groove, right? Or hand in glove, to use another analogy. I can't imagine my work without Rotary, and I can't imagine Rotary without work. So I married my vocation with my avocation, and that has made me feel extremely, extremely successful. Again, if you're joining us late, success is defined however you want to define it. But for me, systemized give back combined with having a successful career is the best, baby, right? Good morning, Renee. Aviva. Wow, that is a great name, Aviva. And Sandy Ross is with us now. So we're talking about my 3, 4, 5 success formula for life, everybody. And those are the 3 life moments that just changed everything for me, right? The next piece of the formula are 4 critical decisions, right? 4 proactive decisions now, because life moments happen to you, and critical decisions are things that you're in control of, right? So if your critical decision is to lose weight or stop smoking or move, right? And you could argue that some of these could apply in several of the 3 categories, right? Some of the things that have happened for me. But 4 critical decisions now that have worked for me. Number 1, and remember, these critical, these proactive decisions, sometimes when you're young, your parents are making the decision for you. So when we were young, I was born in a town called Melvindale, Michigan. And if you know the Detroit area, if you know the downriver Detroit area, you understand the difference between Melvindale and some of the other cities there, right? Melvindale is not an affluent town. It's a very poor town. It's on the border of Detroit. It's a rough area to grow up in. And my dad recognized that we needed a bigger house. And when I was in 2nd grade, he moved my family to a place called Trenton, Michigan, right? So this critical decision, which I didn't make, my father made, it changed the trajectory of the Caruso family, and it changed the trajectory of my life. I'm quite certain that I would have grown up a much different person if I had grown up in Melvindale. I don't need to say better or worse, it doesn't matter. But that move to Trenton changed a lot of what was about. So Jennifer Ann Kendrick, you know the difference between some of the cities in downriver Detroit. For example, between River Rouge and Gros Isle, between Melvindale and Trenton, right? And so I know you appreciate that. Michael T. Gray, welcome to the call, baby. Good morning. So that's the first of the 4 critical and proactive decisions that happened in my life that allowed success for me. The second was my brother Joe contracted cancer at age 19. Now, make no mistake, cancer affected Joe a lot more than it affected me. But if you've ever had somebody in your family develop a life-threatening form of cancer or illness of any kind, you know it has deep, deep impact on other people in the family. And so I have 3 brothers, and my parents and my 3 brothers and Joe experienced cancer together, this life-threatening cancer, right? All the surgeries, all the radiation treatments, not knowing if my brother Joe would live or die. By the way, he survived, right? He was one of the first survivors of testicular cancer. And of course, he was very happy about that. The family was very happy about it. But it taught me how to value every day, how to look at the bright side whenever possible, how to have faith and love every moment, even if the moment is challenging, right? And people sometimes ask me to this day, where'd you get your spirit? Where'd you get your mettle? METTLE. And I think I got it from enduring. Believe me, it was enduring. Not in the way my brother Joe did, but we all endured his cancer for 2 solid years. And it was not easy, but we came out of it on the other end. And it was a critical, it was a proactive decision on our part not to give up. Always do your best. Enjoy every day. You understand how this could affect the arc of my life, right? The third thing that happened was my dad's death, my dad passing, because my dad was my second parent to die, and it impacted me greatly. When your first parent dies, it's just a cutting of that first mooring rope, right? But when your second parent dies, you cut the second mooring rope, and then all bets are off, and you are on your own. If you haven't figured it out by now, right, it's you. Hi, Chalmers. How are you? Nice to see you. And so, again, these numbers for the 3-4-5 formula are up to you, right? You can craft them and make them however you want them to be. The third of the 4 critical decisions, because when my dad died, I decided to change jobs. You understand how this relates to proactive decisions, right? And I quit my job to start my own business, right? A fourth decision I made, critical decision that I made was to write my first book. Because when I started to write my first book, I realized, and then I got some feedback on it, I realized I have something to offer people, something that other people might find make their life better, something other people would even pay for, right? I had no proof of concept of this before I wrote my first book. That first book is still on the market. It's a little booklet called Little Decisions with Big Results, right? And it's still available on my website. And I probably always sell it because it was a life-changing moment for me. It was a critical decision that to decide to write that book allowed me to understand that other information products were in the wings, right? And that's led to 50 information products. So again, this is how it's worked for me, but you can do the same thing, right? In fact, I've taught a lot of people how to write books. So we're all in this together. We're all learning. Now, my 5 key people, right? The 3-4-5 formula. My 5 key people. Of course, my father, who had a big impact on me, not just by passing away. My dad influenced me in so many ways about being an entertainer. I got my entertainment stripe from my father, right? My mother influenced me in a big way. We spent so much time with my mother when we were growing up, and she did such a great job raising 4 boys, 4 Catholic boys who went into the music business and never went to jail, never had scandal, man. My mom would be so proud of the way her boys turned out. And so my mom was a huge influence on us. The third person in my life was my teacher, my introduction to composition teacher in 9th grade, Tom DQ. And I'll tell you why. You're going to laugh initially, and then you're going to get it. I was looking for role models, right? I already knew my mom and dad were role models for me, but in 9th grade, I was looking for more role models. I wrote a paper. I don't remember the name of the paper now, but it was a paper about nature. And I had discovered at that time adjectives. And I loaded this thing up with adjectives. And that forced me to look at things like sentence construction, right? And how to describe things, how to convey what I was thinking to somebody else. It's the first real exercise I had in it. I got an A+ on the paper. But that's not why I came to love Tom DQ. It was the comments inside the paper where he looked at certain sentence construction and he explained vividly why this sentence in particular works, right? And from that time on, I've always imagined myself being a writer. If I hadn't gotten, not the A+, but all of that written feedback from Tom DQ. I mean, after he graded my paper, I remember this. I came into class and he repeated one of my sentences to me verbatim from the paper as I walked into the classroom. He said, "Good morning, Michael." And then he, like what I had written was poetry that one would memorize and commit, and use later in life. And my head exploded with the possibilities, And I came to really admire Tom DQ as a mentor and as a teacher. And since then, I've adapted his mentoring style with people I work with. So Tom DQ had a huge impact on my life as my introductory to composition teacher. And maybe you've had teachers like this as well. Remember, I've asked you today in this call, if you care to thank one of your mentors in the comment section down below. I'm sure images and people in your life are flashing by, maybe mom and dad, maybe a friendly uncle, maybe a teacher that you've had, right? Maybe somebody that opened a door for you in the business world. Now's a good time to say thank you in the comment section. Hi, Sandy. She says she likes the mooring rope analogy with respect to losing a parent. The loss of her dad shifted her trajectory as well. Oh, it's for sure. I mean, it's terrible when somebody leaves us, Sandy, but my gosh, if we can't learn something from it, if we can't become a better person when somebody leaves us, then what is it worth, really? Everything in life that happens is a lesson, if we could just embrace the lesson. And sometimes that's hard. So thank you for your comment. And the fourth person in my life, remember there are 5, right? The fourth person in my life is Brian Tracy. Now, some of you might not know the name Brian Tracy. He's still active in the speaking business, but he's kind of slowed down a bit. Brian Tracy was my guy, right? He was the guy that I modeled early on in the speaking business. He's the first professional speaker that I saw at age 26. And I don't know what it took me so long to get to somebody like this, but these days, you can just find people like this on the internet. 16-year-olds are following Gary Vee on the internet, right? But back then, you had to actually buy the guy's book or see the guy in person. And I went to see Brian Tracy talk, and he spoke to me, man. There were others I found out later that were in circulation at that time. Tom Hopkins was the sales guru of the time, right? He was Jeffrey Gitomer before Jeffrey Gitomer. And by the way, people will come after this, right? And Zig Ziglar was the master storyteller from Dallas with a southern accent, right? He was born in Mississippi, had a great Yazoo, Mississippi, as I recall. And he had a great southern accent. He was a great storyteller. But I identified with Brian Tracy. And in my early days, if you heard other people's voices and saw their mannerisms in my talk, it was Brian Tracy who I was emulating. And even to this day, if I have any kind of speaking style at all, I owe it to Brian Tracy. I've never met the man. I've been at his events on several occasions. I've never had the good fortune of meeting him. I'm sure a lot of people tell him this, but I'm officially thanking him today as one of the 4 of 5 people who changed my life, part of the 3-4-5 formula. And then finally, just to show you that things can happen for you late in life. You can meet people, you can have events, you can make decisions late in life that help you become a better person and more successful. The 5th person in my life is Renee Pothetis. And those of you that are following me now and looking on as we go through life together, you know that she enriched my life in ways I never could imagine. She is just so gifted in so many ways. She's a master communicator. She's intensely curious about life, and she's just so fun to be with. And that's why she made she made the top 5, because these are people you want to hang around with, the people that enrich you, the people that make you feel good about yourself, the people that make you want to do better, right? Hi, Sue Asper, how are you? And so that's my breakdown of the 3-4-5 formula. If you're joining the call late, it's 3 life moments, it's 4 critical decisions, and it's 5 key people, right? You can change the numbers if you want for your life. And so Renee and I have begun a series, what we hope will be a series of events. They are going to be live retreats. We're going to hold them in fun, cool places, resorts. They could be travel destinations. And the next one that we're going to be doing is November 2nd and 3rd in Tampa, Florida. And we're going to hold it at the world-famous, world-class Saddlebrook Resort and Spa. And this is a weekend thing, so the actual class time, they call it class time, but there's going to be no lecturing, right? It's going to be conversation. And time for us to sit in a relaxing environment and talk about this, where success comes from, how you can be more successful. If you're transitioning your career, if you're transitioning from one station in life to another, if you want to make more money, although that's not the focus of our conversation, right? Whatever success means to you is what we talk about at this Life Mastery Retreat. The link is on my website. You can, of course, just Google Angelo Caruso Life Mastery Retreat. You can go to my website, to the store where it says shop, and see the registration link there. And of course, I have a discount code for all my Facebook friends because I really like our time on Saturday mornings. Hi, Greg. How are you? Good to see you, man. Greg's about to become a district governor in Rotary, and his life station is changing. This is the kind of thing that changes your life, right? It's one of those decisions that allows you to go to another place. It's quite amazing. So if you go to this link, michelangelocaruso.com/Life Mastery Retreat, you can find it various ways, right? Hi, Omar, how are you? And you type in the promo code MASTERY, MASTERY 2, the number 2. If you type in MASTERY 2, you could save $200 on the retreat. So what we're going to do is fly in Thursday or earlier because we want to really enjoy ourselves in Tampa. November is a good way to extend the summer, extend the summer. And if you go someplace in November, and if you're from the cold country like we are in Michigan, if you go someplace in November and in April, winter's almost tolerable, right? So it's a beautiful time to be. It's not too hot in Tampa. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful surroundings. We like to do our retreats in beautiful surroundings because when you're relaxed, right? When you slow down, that's when the mind is open to change. That's when the mind is open to commitment and new ideas. If I catch you in between busy work days, you're just on the treadmill, man. You just don't have time to think about anything else. So we like to get to a nice, relaxing resort where we can all enjoy each other and we communicate with each other. Again, no lectures. It'll be a small group. We're going to cap this thing off at about 10 people, I think. We're going to visit by the pool. We're going to visit during meals. We're going to take walks in the morning and talk about life mastery, life success, career transition, making more of your work team, right? If you want to write a book, now is a great time to think about it. Like I said earlier, I've taught dozens and dozens and dozens of people how to publish books. And it's so rewarding for me to help people. And it will be so rewarding to see you attend this event, November 2nd and 3rd in Tampa, if you care to. So I'm opening up for questions about anything. Keep in mind, everybody, there's a little time delay in the Facebook feed. So if I don't see your question during this live episode, I will go back and check the thread and then answer in that way. I will be posting the link to the website. I'll be posting a picture of me and my mentor, Tom DQ. Maybe I'll find a good one of my parents and me, and we'll post that because I've talked about them. And any questions you have, now's a good time to get her done. Hey, Maggie Sutherland, how are you? So that's the story, everybody. To summarize, and you can watch the full video in the feed in just a minute. To summarize, I use a 3-4-5 life success formula. That's 3 life moments. These are things that happen to you, right? You can't control. 4 critical, proactive decisions. And then 5 key people that end up being mentors or people that change the direction of your life, hopefully improve the direction of your life and take you to a place that you never thought you would get to. The key message of today, if you can't think of anything else, if you can't remember anything else after today, here's the key message. I don't care how old you are. It's not too late to be even more successful, to help even more people. And I've made my life's work helping people into the saddle for this. It's wonderful. Greg, we missed a lot of people in Toronto. 30,000, nearly 30,000 Rotarians at the Toronto Convention Center and in the restaurants, and it was just a wonderful trip. And Greg, people often message me before the convention and say, "We'll meet up with you in Toronto." It doesn't work like that, man. There's just so many things going on, so many friends. And we're walking down the hall and somebody says, "Let's have dinner," and then we go that way, right? And so that's why, one of the reasons why we never ran into you. We missed you. And I'm glad that you were able to attend this year. For those of the Rotarians on the line right now, the next convention is in Hamburg. I told you we see the world through Rotary. Next convention is in Hamburg. They're going to Hawaii shortly after that. So it's a great time to be in Rotary. It's a great time to be more successful. I don't see any questions coming in, so you want to get on with your day. I certainly want to get on with mine. Feel free to type any question in the comment bar afterward, and I'll be sure and get back with you. Hey, thanks for being successful, everybody. Don't forget to practice the 3-4-5 Life Mastery Success Formula, and we'll see you soon. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.